Hey everybody, it's Allison Sullivan, and I'm here with you from New Westminster, British Columbia in Canada, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am just going to make sure that we are live. So just a sec while I get everything sorted, and we've got our stuff going here, and I'll be able to see your comments. So looks like I'm okay. And I can hear myself, so we're good. Alrighty. Sounds like I'm good. Just wait for you guys to get on and we will get started. We are. Okay. I'm not sure why every time I go live, my nose starts to itch. It must be some sort of weird tick. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. Nice to see you. Oh, boy. Hello from Minnesota. There should be some way you can click the Minnesota girl. Hi, Keisha. The Minnesota stamper. You should be able to click on something that lets me see your name. But otherwise, I just see a Facebook user. So if I can't see your name, hi, Diane. Hi, Pat. Thanks for joining me so late, you guys. Pat and my Minnesota Facebook user. Okay. Just gonna put that over there. Now I can see a little bit more. I might be able to see who my Minnesota girl is. Nope, still not coming up with a name. Oh well. Hi, Jeanette. Oh, hello. You guys are coming in from all over. I was just saying, every time I go live, my nose starts to itch. It's like some sort of weird tick. Even if oh, Wendy. Hi, Wendy. Nice to see you back. The reason, Facebook user from Minnesota, the reason I can't see your name is because Facebook, because you're watching me probably in the Border Buddy group, which is a private group in Facebook. In order to protect your privacy, you have to give StreamYard permission to see your name. Now, if you're watching me on my Facebook page, which is Stamp Crazy with Allison, or through YouTube, you wouldn't have to give it permission and I could see your name. So it's because you're on a group, and there should be a little notice saying, please give StreamYard permission, but sometimes that doesn't work. So I was saying that my nose itches and now my eye is itchy. Oh, it's hilarious. Okay, you guys. Oh my gosh. And also, you guys, okay, so my glasses. Okay, I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, my glasses were all, like I kind of bent them wrong. So I have to go get that fixed at the optometrist. In the meantime, it's like kind of crazy. Hi, Mo. Mo from TO. All right, you guys. I think we're good. I said to my husband, I'm going live at 5. And then I don't know why I got the giggles. It was like I was some sportscaster. And live at 5, we have Allison Sullivan showing us some fun Stampin' Up! Cards. So let us get started. I'm going to do a little bit of a split screen here. There we go. So today we're going to be using that New Horizons suite of products that I used the other night. I absolutely love this product suite, and I'm going to show you the elements that are in it. I did check the inventory list today, and it seems that some of the products are not orderable because they've sold out, but they will come back. So check with your demonstrator, and if I'm your demonstrator, check with me, and I'll keep an eye on when they're coming and let you know. Okay, so let's go over here. All right, so here is our fantastic suite of products. Hi, Lisa. Got 2 Chilliwack girls today. Super. Okay, so the other day, what day is it today? Thursday. So Sunday, I guess. I showed you how you can case a card from the catalog and how easy it is to case a card from the catalog. So this was the card that we copied and selectively edited or shared because I didn't actually edit it, right? I basically made this card exactly like it was in the book. And my purpose for that was to show you that sometimes if you get stuck, it's okay to just look at the beautiful samples in the catalog. This is an idea book and catalog. It's not just a catalog, right? So lots of ideas. So if you get stuck, just recreate the ones that are already in the book. The artists at Stampin' Up! Are artists, so no, you might as well just copy them. Hi, Ellie. Well, thanks you guys for popping in. So that was the card that I shared the other day. And I made another card because I thought, well, I'll just keep going and keep casing. So this was another card that I cased. Can you see that? I think so. Let me lower that down just a titch and you can see that. Yeah. So we've got, this is the card that I made. And then this was the card that I cased. Okay. Really simple. And isn't it effective? I just love it. So I wanted to show you this because I am going to make a card today that uses this layout, but I've changed it up. Okay. So that's another way. You can copy it exactly, or you can change up some of the elements. Hi, Marilyn. Okay. Hi, Elaine. Okay. So let's go over the products that are in this suite. Let's raise this up a bit so we can see what we're doing. There we go. I see that light is there. I don't like that. And I'm going to turn off. I've got this other light on. And sometimes that creates a problem, a shadow. There, that's a little bit better. Okay. So we've got the On the Horizon stamp set and the Horizon dies, right? So that's the stamps and then the dies. So these are fabulous. I love these little fences. This actually, the set reminded me a lot of just, I don't know, growing up on the beach. Well, I didn't grow up on the beach, but you know, close to the ocean where I live. And it kind of has that, I don't know, Cape Cod, you know, look to it where people are out on the sand, right? Sort of reminded me of that. And then we've got the designer series paper. Now, this is fantastic. This is 6x6 format. And you've got these beautiful colors on one side. So kind of like watercolor, just kind of watercolor washes, really, right? I've used so many of them. I don't think I've got every one now, but there's 12 different ones. So that's one side. But then when you flip it over, you actually get scenes. Like, look how gorgeous these are. Like, you can see the mountains and the water. Oh, purple mountains, water. Gorgeous, right? Meadow and the sunset. So you get the idea. So this is fantastic. You get 4 of each of these. So that's 48, and they're double-sided. So you can pick which side you want to go with. And then we've got the On the Horizon, the cotton ribbon. It's an 1/8 of an inch thick. So you've got the Misty Moonlights and the Petal Pink. And it's so soft and it's so light that it's really easy to tie in a bow. And the thing I love about it is it doesn't add a lot of bulk to your card. So it's not going to be bulky and it's not going to be expensive to mail. Okay, so love that. And then we've got the Pebbles. These are pebble enamel shapes, and there are 90 of them. There's 3, I think there's 3 colors. So sort of like a smoky and then a basic gray, and then the cinnamon cider. Okay, so light gray, dark gray, cinnamon cider. And they go in they're in different sizes. So each color, you get the long ones, the sort of stubby ones, and then the elongated ones. So lots of options there for your cards. All right, so I think we can get started with our card today. Any questions? And the mountains. Yeah, I love the mountains. And the mountains, you're right. We live in the mountains. You're right. Okay. Let's gather our bits. Now, I'm going to start with Pool Party. which I haven't used in a while actually. So I've got Pool Party. I've got a little scrap here of Crumb Cake. I've got a scrap of that Designer Series paper. I've got a piece of Designer Series paper, and let me just measure this so I don't steer you wrong. This is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay. And I just picked one that I thought went with the colors that I'll be using. I've also got a piece of basic white. This is going to be my stamping piece, and it is 3.25 by 4. Okay. So let's start with our little piece of basic white here. I'm also going to bring in another stamp set that I think really complements the On the Horizon stamp set, and that's the Ocean Front. Okay, I love this one. Love it. And they go beautifully together. Okay, so I'm going to start. I want to create a little scene on my paper. So I've got Crumb Cake, and I've got this image from the Ocean Front. And what I love about this Ocean Front is that, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but you've got different kind of hues of the same stamp. So you've got some areas that will be lighter when you ink it up and some that'll be darker, but it's all on the same stamp. So you don't have to, do anything special except ink it up. Now I want this to be a little bit at an angle. So I'm just going to do that. So you can see, I hope, how I've got the dark, it's got darker at the top and then it gets lighter as it goes down. And there's nothing special. I just inked it and stamped it. Now next I'm going to use this one, although this one would have worked too, but I want this one. And I want to create some sky. So I'm going to use Pool Party for that. Hope that's inked up nicely. Okay. Looking at this stamp, and I hope it's on the block and not the stamp. Oh, well, I've got an extra piece of paper if I have to start again. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that. There we go. Looks good to me. So you can see I'm building a little scene here. I've got the ground or the beach, if you want to think of it that way, and I've got the sun, or the sky, the blue sky. All right. Now I need some birds, and that adorable stamp here from On the Horizon is this set of sort of flock of birds. So let's do that. Now the trick with this one is I keep looking at this thinking, which way is this? Which way is up? But I sort of figured it out. My husband alerted me. He told me the other day about a crow. We have a lot of crows, but he told me about a crow. I should explain. We have a lot of crows. Okay, so where I live in the Lower Mainland of Vancouver, there is I don't know what you call a murder. It's a murder of crows, isn't it? We have a murder of crows that flies between one municipality, a parking lot, and then another parking lot. And they do it in the morning and then they go back at night. And the last time anyone counted, there were over 5,000 of them. 5,000 crows. Anyways, which kind of freaks you out, doesn't it, when you think about it? Anyway, we have crows in our backyard, but my husband told me the other day that there was a crow in the backyard that was as big as my daughter's cat. And I thought that's a bit of an exaggeration. The next time it comes, I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to post it to my Facebook page because he called me today, all excited. It's back. The crow's back. The crow's back. So I jump up and I run over to the window, and it took off before I could take a picture. And he was not exaggerating. That crow must be, I don't know, 20 pounds minimum. I have never seen such a ginormous crow I don't even know how it took off and flew, frankly. Anyway, kind of freaky. Yes, it's a lot of crows. It's a murder, they call it. Alfred Hitchcock. I know, Cindy, every time I see them in the backyard, I think, But crows are really, really smart animals. I don't know if you know this, but they actually have face recognition. So if I were to go out in the backyard and make my husband thinks it was a raven. Yes. You go in the backyard, and if you were to get lost, just kind of flap your hands around, it will remember you. And when you go back in the backyard, it alerts all the other crows that you are not a good person. So I tend to go out and just mind my own business. Okay. Very intelligent. They are unbelievably intelligent, which is even more frightening. Anyway, I believe it was a raven. I'll get a picture of it. I swear, you guys, I will get a picture. Okay, sorry. So back to our project. And I guess I got on the crows because of the flying. But literally, when the 5,000 of them move from one parking lot to another, the whole sky is black. It's freaky. Okay, so I've cut this piece, and I want to glue it to the front of my card. Now, remember I was saying that I kind of took the idea from the catalog, and I cased it. And when I say case, I mean copy and selectively edit. And what I've edited is I've taken the layout. So I basically took this layout. You can see I've just substituted the colors of the paper and the DSP. And of course, I've changed up my actual focal point here. But you get the idea of how you can just change a few little things and make it your own, right? Now, I'm going to need some a fence. I want a fence, and I also want some grass, and that's from the dies. So the first thing I did was I just want to cut a fence. I wanted to use this image here, which is like this plank of wood here. To use that. So I'm just going to stamp that in the middle like so. And then I'm going to cut my fence out of that. So now I just need my dies, which I will grab over here. And I want the little fence because I don't want too much fence. Okay. And it doesn't fit exactly, but it fits well enough that you can get by. And then I also want this grassy little clump here. Okay. So let us grab our cut and emboss machine. Here we go. Here it is. Yay. And of course, you guys get sick of hearing me say this, but I use the plate number 3 and not the white plate. And then I've got my clear plate. And then I've got my piece of paper and my die. And then I'm going to put that over top. Okay. Okay. I love the way it just goes through so smoothly, doesn't it? It's fantastic. And remember I told you that I'm always losing my dies when I stamp on camera. So I've got this little piece of magnet. I'm just going to stick it on top of that. Okay, so now I've got my fence. There we go. And got my little grassy bit. And I think if I just lay it like that, it'll be fine. So I just grabbed one of the DSPs that I felt looked sort of like it could be grass. Okay. Right. And I can put all of this aside and bring this in, and oh, just popped out. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Here's my little bits. So the first thing I wanted to do was just glue this down. Okay, so I'm just going to use my white glue. You know, if you follow me, you know that I love white glue. I know a lot of people don't, but just saying, if you give it a chance, you will love it too. And just dot it on, or just kind of very gently squeeze. You're just being very gentle with it. Otherwise, you do get a bit of a gob. You don't want that. Okay, that's good. And I just want that at a kind of an angle. Okay, go. Looking good. Before I stick my fence on, I want to grab a word, and I've taken the thinking of you. But you know what? Breathe would be really nice too, wouldn't it? That would be a really good one for this one. But I like the thinking of you. I love the font of this. I think it's just so sweet. Just going to stamp that. And of course, that's just in my Memento Tuxedo Memento Black. Now with my little fence here, I did try, it's not perfect, but I took my bone folder and I just gave it a little bit of a curve here because I kind of wanted it to not sit flat. Does that make sense? Just wanted it to have a little bit of dimension. All right, so I'm going to do that. But before I do that, I want to add some pebbles. The first time I made the card, I actually, oh, hi, Janet. Hi, Cheryl. The first time I made the card, I actually put the fence on and then I tried to stick my pebbles underneath. And of course, it's a lot easier. You know, I always make things more difficult for myself. It's a lot easier if you just do this. Okay. We're doing really well on time today. I have a second card that I might make. I might go for a twofer. I really do want to show you guys how, you know, you don't have to do anything fancy and it doesn't have to take you an hour to make a card. You can make lots of cards in a small amount of time. So I think I started this about 10 minutes ago. And look, I'm almost done, right? So you can see that it's not hard to quickly put together a card. Okay, and I want that like that. Okay, now with my fence, I'm taking my glue and I'm just putting it along here. Okay, there we go. And just gonna have it, oh, I actually want it a little bit higher than that. So I'm just gluing down both edges, if that makes sense, like the first picket and the last picket. And I'm just gonna hold that in place. Okay. All right, it's coming together. Hi, Valerie. So glad you could come. You must be a friend of Mo's. Now, here's our little elements here. And let's put some ribbon on this. So this is Pool Party, I think. Yeah. And it is 3/8 of an inch. And I want it to be like a 3-prong thing here. So I'm going to do that with one hand. Okay, and then to hold this in place, I mean, there's lots of fancy things I could do, but I don't do things fancy. I'm just grabbing a piece of tape. Scotch tape. There we go. And then let's put some dimensionals on the back of this guy. And here we are. I like this card. It reminds me, like I said, of a summer being at, oh, I don't know, Cape Cod or I've been to Cape Cod, but I was a very small child. Or what I imagine Cape Cod or the Hamptons or something like that would be. All right, and then I just want to, there we go. Okay, so that's the card. Card number 1. I'm going to show you another card, I think, because it won't take me long to show you. So what do you guys think? So this is the card that we cased from the catalog. So cased pretty much exactly. And then this is taking all the same elements, but just switching it up. They do go great together, and you should put it on your next order. Thanks, you think. You're welcome, Janet. Yeah, I am the great enabler. Yes, I am. But it is beautiful. And actually, a lot of you know that Ange McKay and I do classes together, and we really love this, and we really want to do this, but because of the uncertainty of getting the products for March, we've put it off to a future month. Next month, I'm excited. I'll show you a sneak peek. Next month, let me show you what we're going to do because we're super excited. It's super cute. I just have to find the page that it's on. All right, page 27. This will be our class for March. Easter friends. I just love it. I don't know what I love more. I think I like the bunny the best, followed up by the duck. Isn't he cute? Aren't they cute? They're so cute. Anyway, we're going to do that in March. But then in April, if we get those products back in stock, we will do a class on the Horizon Suite. So, okay. So that's the cards. Oh, am I in frame? Sorry, guys. Okay. I will show you one more card. Here's another card. Now, I know my sister Ellie knows the names of all these folds. I think this is a gate card. So here's one. So kind of see it's got similar elements here. We've got a bit of grass instead. And then we've got the sky. Okay, but similar, right? And then when you take this belly band off, then you've got your card. Okay, so really simple. This is just stamp this all as one piece and then cut it in half and stick it on either side. All right, you could also do it with the designer series paper. That would be pretty too. All right, let's go on to the next card, which is kind of a case. The chick. I know, the chick is so cute. Okay, this one here, this sample here. Oh, I am so far out of frame, you guys. I'm sorry, I haven't been watching. I'm sorry, you guys. Driving you nuts. Okay. I took this card, or this home decor, and I just turned it into a card. That's all. So let me show you how I did that. I started with a piece of soft succulent. Okay. And what I've done, you guys, is I've gone ahead and emboss the front of this with the Bark 3D embossing folder. You do have to use the larger Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for this. Okay. What have you got there, Modi? You've got, I would die cut the main layer to leave a frame and use the middle section for another. Ah, clever. Yeah. So Mo's basically saying you take a bigger piece, you cut it into 3 almost, and you get that middle piece and use it on another card. That would be pretty. Okay, sorry, we got distracted, my sister and I. Okay, Bark 3D embossing folder. Ran it through the soft succulent, which I cut to 4 1/4 by 11, but it doesn't matter. You can do it just your 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. It doesn't matter for this card. And it just gives that nice barky look. And I thought it would kind of go with the rustic look of the card that I was going for. Okay. Then I cut a piece of, what is this? Blackberry Bliss. I don't use that card stock a lot, and it's so pretty. We should all use it more. We should embrace our inner Blackberry Bliss. Now it is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And the reason that's like that, I just wanted a very small border because I chose this absolutely gorgeous designer series paper. And it would have looked like, I'll show you that full piece. Okay. And I just wanted to cut a piece of that out. So by cutting this 3 by 4 in a, what is it? 4 and a, I lied, it's 4 1/4, which means that this is 4 3/8. Okay, sorry guys. So you just want that little 1/8 of an inch frame around it. Okay. All right. So that's what I was going with. And no stamping. It's just like, how crazy is that? There's no stamping. Isn't that nuts? Okay. Now, I want to do a similar thing that I did with the other card. And that is, I've got a piece of, I was going to say it's smoky slate. It's supposed to be smoky slate, but this is not smoky slate. No, no. This is. Okay, for everybody out there in my audience, this color is that light color. What is it, you guys? Oh my gosh. My brain. It is Sahara Sand. Whoever spoke up. Yay. Again, I want to just create that. Yes, of course you love Blackberry Bush, Janet. I have so many friends that love purple. And I can see why. Purple is just a happy color to me, isn't it? Like, I don't know if you don't like purple. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm just stamping this plank twice in crumb cake. Okay. So there we go. And then let us cut that out on our baby boss. Our baby, our itty bitty baby. This, we've got this, and I want, oops, grabbing this. I think I want 2 of the little guys. So I'm gonna have to run that through twice, which is fine. Okay, there we go. I mean, I don't have to have the, I don't have to stamp it first, but I like the fact that it adds a little bit of detail, It's not just, you could use like a dauber and some ink and kind of rough it up. That would be kind of cool too, to make it look a little bit rustic. You could also add a little bit of the white craft ink, so it looks almost weathered. Those things would all work. Okay. So Harrison, thanks, Mo. I don't know. When I first started with Stampin' Up! Almost 20 years ago, I knew every page number. I would go to workshops and I'd say, now, if everyone would turn to page 135, my goodness, I don't even know the colors anymore. Mind you, there have been a few color changes since I started this fabulous journey. But there you go. All right. I also need to die cut a shape because I want to stamp a word. And I think I'll stamp and then I'll cut it out, because I know my limitations. Everybody's got their limitations. Got to know their limitations, right? So I'm going to use the word relax. So it says relax and enjoy your day. So let's get that mounted. Okay. Now I could just stamp that in black, but I wanted it to be a little bit more special. So I grabbed my black embossing powder and I've got my, oh gosh, look, this looks like a science experiment. You know why? Because I was too lazy. Okay, that is a sign of a lazy stamper. I was too lazy to clean my stamp, and I thought it was clean, and then, well, there you go. You get a mess. I'm always afraid to use black. Black is so, you got to be committed to use black. So there we go. And make sure you got that lid on so you don't have that unfortunate mess that can be created. Okay, so let's heat set that. Okay. I do find that the new heat tool, which I say the name new loosely because it's not that new, but the old one really did heat up a lot faster. But this one's good for, you know, you rarely make a mistake while heat embossing with this one, because it doesn't get too hot too fast, and you can emboss things like vellum really easily with it. So there's my relax. Now I want to use a die from the Tasteful Labels dies. I love these dies. There's really, the reason I love the dies is because there's large ones, there's really pretty ornate ones, little tags, like this is almost like a label, an old-fashioned label. I just really think it's got so many options. There's stitched ones and non-stitched ones. So we're going to use this one, the stitched one, and I'm just going to grab my, okay. Now, one thing about when you use your heat tool is that sometimes your paper gets a little warped, right? So that when you go to cut, the die might move. So I'm just going to grab a piece of repositionable tape. This is what I would call old lady, so you don't make a mistake tape. There we go. And there we go. Oh. Okay. Right. All our little bits. Let's bring all this back in. So this is our card and our little bits and our word. I'll show you what I mean by this particular die. See how it's got the stitching around the edge? I think that looks great. Okay. Put away my little die before something happens. And then I'm going to grab one of my favorite things that everyone should have, and that is the linen thread. And I have a love-hate relationship with the linen thread. Maybe you guys have a tip. I don't know. I can't seem to get it. But whenever I get a new one, I can never find the end. So I kind of I just give up trying to find the end. And then I end up with a mess. And I just kind of, I don't know. I just embrace the mess, I guess is what. I just can never get it off the spool. It's like, I don't know. So by the time I'm, halfway through this spool, I've got all these ends, and you know what? Whatever. I just kind of embrace it. It's kind of a mess like me, but that's okay. So we're going to just grab and see, then I've got like at least an end. And let's glue this on first. Hello, Roseanne. Welcome. If you guys are new and haven't seen me before, you can find my previous videos on my Facebook page. But if you hop over to YouTube, you can find everything over there, including all sorts of other videos, not just Facebook Lives. And if you do go over there, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get my views up because I want to do some things with YouTube that I can't do until I have a bunch more hours of viewing. So if you can help me out and go over there, I'd appreciate it. All right, so now I'm just going to wrap this around. And I think I'm only going to be able to get, 2 around it. How many of you watched the hockey game last night? Weren't our women just amazing? Oh my gosh. It was so wonderful and so deserved. We really, did dominate the tournament, them in the U.S. And I hope it encourages other countries to get their programs going, so we can have a little bit more competition. Although the one between the U.S. and Canada every few years, plus the World Championship, certainly keeps us on our toes. Okay, so I'm going to move this over a bit. I wanted it more to be on my little ribbon here to be more up and down. Does that make sense? As opposed to flat. So I'm going to try that. That looks pretty good. Let's pop that up. Yeah, Jana. Well, we didn't have to stay up late. My sister, Ellie, she stayed up. Like, it didn't start till 11 o'clock her time. And she stayed up. It was just fabulous. So exciting. Although, I got to say, that third period, I was getting a little worried. But what would a hockey game between the U.S. and Canada be without, on the edge of our seats, right? That's what makes them so great. Okay, there's our relax. Now, remember in the first card, I took my little fence. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just give that a little curl. It was a great game and well worth. Usually my sister Ellie and I are madly texting through a game, like the World Juniors or whatever. And she didn't. So I thought, well, she's obviously gone to bed and she'll watch it on replay tomorrow or something. But at the end of the game, when it was all over, she texted me and says, "Was that a great game?" So, and it was. It was. All right, so we're going to do that. But let's add some pebbles. Because remember I told you that when I add the pebbles first, it's not as hard as when I try and stick them under. And now I'm doing what Ange and I always say we do, which is basically, where are my pebbles? Okay, let's talk. What are we going to talk about while I search for my pebbles? Oh, here we go. Found them. Okay. All right. So I want my little fence to be about like that, because I'm trying to lead you down a path, right? So let's get some pebbles on here. Now, usually I use my pick tool, but I find with these, they're quite substantial, these pebbles. And so I'm using my scissors. I'm just sliding them under and grabbing it because it's got the adhesive on it. But you could also use the pointy end of your pick, and that would work too. So let's put that over here. And maybe one more. Oop. One more little fat, flat one. Like so. Okay. I'm actually going to pop this up first. And now I'm into the edges of my dimensionals. I love dimensionals for this purpose. Look at this. You just, you know, you never, nothing's a waste. Just kind of grab your little bits and bobs. You got it. Perfect. No one's going to see all that mess underneath. All right. Put that on the card. And then we can put our little fences. So I am going to put my glue along like so. Ooh, that might be a little bit too much. Oh yes, I think that might be just a bit too much. And a shout out to the Americans because they were just giving it like everything they had. It's always so sad to see somebody lose a game when it's so hard fought, you know. We were crying 4 years ago, and so makes the win sweeter. And I'm sure the women would say that too. Okay, and then we're just gonna have a little bit of, there we go, and oop, oop. There, I'm just gonna hold that in place. So I do have the middle part of my fence. So it's sort of glued, and that's a little bit of a bow, and then it's glued. Okay, all right. So there's my cards, some samples, and let me grab those original pictures so you can see. You fell asleep on the first period. You saw the best part, you did. And we started at what, 8 o'clock. So my poor sister, she stayed awake starting at 11. Gosh, it wouldn't have been over till 1, I guess. All right, so here's the card, and here's the original sample, right? So this is the case. So you can see lots of the same elements, right? But just made smaller into a card. And then this one here was this one. Okay. And this one is the one I made the other day. So if you want to go back and watch the live, you can see me making this one. Whoops, good. Dimensionals on there. So you can see that these were not hard to make. They were quite fast, actually, and not my own design. I just sort of took ideas. This one's changed the most, and these two. This is an exact copy. This is a semi-copy, and this is a layout copy. Okay. Hi, Lori. Oh, you're welcome, Janet. I'm so glad you came. Hi, Connie. All righty, let's nip all that out. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to do this. And let's bring these into focus a bit. I was a little bit off today, wasn't I? Gosh. There we go. I can't straighten anything out. There we go. How's that? Thanks, Mo. 2 o'clock. You stayed up to 2 o'clock, Ellie. Oh, yeah, you would have 3 hours. Gosh. All right, guys. So I will see you again on Sunday at 10 a.m. And check out those products in the On Horizon suite. You won't be disappointed. And if you've already got the On Horizon, don't forget to check out the, what's it, not waterfront, what's it called? Oceanfront, of course, ocean. Okay, you guys, well, thanks so much for joining me. We're a bit longer today, but we got 2 cards done and lots of gathering. Okay, thanks for joining me. I always appreciate you coming live or watching later when you can. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much, you guys. And we'll see you Sunday morning at 10. Okay.